Welcome back to another video, and in today's video I am going to talk about how I got this computer right here for $550, what it means for Techno Eclipse, what it means for me, and just in general a really solid computer. But there is one flaw. I'm Scott with Techno Eclipse, and I will see you after the intro. So before we dive into this, I just want to thank you guys for 195 subscribers. We're 5 away from 200. That is amazing. I also want to say that this computer right here was purchased for $550. Put up the screenshot here. It features these specs. It is running an Intel Pentium G4400 clocked at 3.3 gigahertz, 2 cores, 2 threads. Pretty much the worst processor of all time. I actually made fun of almost this exact same processor in the Surface Scope. That's why I'm selling it. 8 gigabytes of RAM running at 2400 megahertz. 2 8 gigabyte RX 580s from XFX. A 700 watt gold power supply. And a Gigabyte Z170X Gaming 7 motherboard, along with 2 terabytes of internal hard disk storage running at 7200 RPM. And obviously you can tell that that CPU is totally weak and sucks. It is a dual core 6th gen crappy CPU. Why was I able to get this for so cheap? Well, and don't give me hate for this, this was originally a mining rig. It's kind of easy to tell, but the guy said he only mined for like 4 months, so I'm not too concerned about the graphics card's longevity. 4 months isn't a super long time. The only thing I would worry about is the fans, and I checked them out, and they seemed fine. Obviously, I can't tell if the fans are going to fall apart. They could fall apart while I'm filming, but everything seems fine. There's 4 fans in here keeping it cool, keeping it with good airflow. It's a solid build, an impressive build, and the cable management was off the charts. I thought it was pretty good. So what does this mean for Techno Eclipse? So as you know, I sold my MacBook Pro. It's officially gone. I dropped it off today at FedEx. I'm not gonna lie, I was like kind of sad. I didn't start crying. I'm a little bit of a crybaby. I wasn't gonna cry, but it was just emotional because that has been through like a lot of the growth of Techno Eclipse, and to see it go is just like there's a chapter in like the Techno Eclipse book kind of done and over. It's not sad. It was kind of sad though. I didn't like tear up or anything. I wasn't gonna cry, but it was definitely something different to me because I've had a MacBook Pro and I've used one for the last year and a half, and to see that go and to not have one anymore, it was just a weird feeling, I guess. And it's a new feeling, and I'm excited to start this new chapter with you guys. So what am I gonna do with this computer? Well, you know I'm building a Hackintosh, and why did I buy this computer? I think it's really important to explain why I bought this computer, because I don't just do things recklessly because it looks like it's a good deal. I research, I take my time. I mean, I'll look for 3, 4, 5 hours. I stayed up till 3 a.m. last night looking for computers. I bought another computer that I'm really excited about, and I want your guys' thoughts about it at the end of the video, so you'll have to wait till then. That's called a teaser. So, why did I buy this computer? Well, obviously, I want a video editing rig, and with a dual-core G4400, I'm not going to be able to edit videos pretty much at all. But it's important to remember there are 2 RX 580s in there. The RX 580 is essentially the top-of-the-line consumer-grade card from AMD. There are the Vega graphics cards available, but those are way out of my price range, and RX 580s are a nice little fit. But the important thing to remember about an RX 580 is while it is one of the top-tier cards available, it's probably on par with like a 1060 or like a 1070, which are about $220 graphics cards. With 1070 is a little bit higher at like $300 to $350. That card will work and should work natively with macOS. You know I'm building a Hackintosh. I'll probably get demonetized because of Apple. But an RX 580 should work natively with macOS. Why does it work natively with macOS? Well, if you look at the iMacs from 2017, they're still selling full price in 2018 with i7 CPUs, or with 7th gen CPU. With 7th gen CPUs, but that's neither here nor there. They are running Radeon RX 580 graphics cards. So they run on that architecture, which makes these cards great for Hackintoshing. But the important thing to remember is I only need one. So what do I plan to do with this computer with all of the parts inside of it? Well, you know why I bought it for the graphics card. I essentially bought it for the graphics card, 8 gigabytes of RAM, the power supply, and the hard drive is a nice bonus. It's a 2 terabyte hard drive, so it'll be nice to have that extra space, but it's also going to be relatively slow storage, which is okay. But I priced this thing out according to eBay and also what I think is fair value for this computer, and this is what I got. For the CPU, the G4400, I give that about a $30 to $40 price tag. You can find them for selling on eBay from $30 to $40. Not surprising, it's a piece of crap. The Gigabyte Z170X gaming motherboard goes for around $60. It's a great motherboard. It's a Z170 chipset. It's a little bit older, but it has Thunderbolt 3, which is really cool, actually. I've never had a computer with Thunderbolt 3. I don't know what to do with it, but I have Thunderbolt 3 on there. It's just a nice feature, I guess. Next will be the RAM. That's a $60 value for 8 gigs of DDR4 in 2018. I would say maybe more, but what I would value it at is 60 bucks. Next would be the 2 graphics cards, and the XFX Radeon RX 580 8 gigabyte model goes for about $210 to $230. On eBay, I'm going to go ahead on the low end there and go for $210. So I have 2 of those, that's $420. The next thing to remember is that there is a case surrounding all of this, which is great. That case I've found for like 40 bucks, but for calculating into what I was going to pay for my computer, I was going to buy a new case. Having a used one that's in this great of condition is better, and I would give this about a $40 value. Finally, the last thing in there is the power supply, and people might not think that it's whatever, but it's nice to have the power supply that I have in there, a 750 watt gold rated power supply. I'm not going to have any issues with power supplies, with any failings or anything, probably ever. I mean, it's great. It's nice to have such a top spec power supply, because I was going to buy a cheap power supply, but I got this great power supply. Those go for about 60 bucks on eBay. So again, to run you through that, that is $40 on the CPU, $60 on the RAM, $60 on the motherboard, $60 on the power supply, $420 on the 2 RX 580s, and $40 on the case. That comes out to roughly $660. Obviously, there's going to be maybe some fees, and maybe go a little bit lower on some, a little bit higher on some. But at the end of the day, what I'm pulling from this system is going to be one graphics card, the power supply, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and the case. And the only purchases I need to make now are a motherboard and a CPU. So all in all, what I expect this computer to cost me after I sell the components is going to be roughly $250 to $300. And that gives me, including what I paid for the monitor, my other monitor just sold, and I got $160 from that. That would be $40 for my 4K monitor. $40 plus the $250 to $300. I'll just go $300 to make it a little bit easier. That makes it about $340 so far. But I need to get 8 more gigabytes of RAM, which is going to be about $60. And then I need to get a Z370 chipset, and either an i5-8400 or an i5-8600K. I haven't decided, but all in all, those 3 things should cost me approximately $125 for the motherboard. You're looking at probably, depending on what CPU I go for, if I go for the i5-8400, probably going to be a little bit cheaper, maybe like $170. And then with the i5-8600K, those are a little bit more expensive, in the $220 ballpark, along with 8 gigabytes of RAM, which again will be about 60 bucks. So if we add that all together, if we just go on the low end, that should be about $360 more, which would bring my build from $360 for the rest of the build, adding in what I already have here, which is going to bring it to $700 for the whole build. And also I need to purchase an SSD. I'm not sure how much money I'm going to spend on that and how big that's going to be, how much storage, but I'll have to take into consideration how much I've spent. But considering the fact that at the end of the day I'm going to have a 6-core Intel latest generation processor, not like an X5660, which is like an 8-year-old Xeon processor, it's going to be the latest and greatest from Intel, actually the latest and greatest from AMD. It's going to be a great computer, especially for what I'm spending on it. I think my MacBook Pro would be proud and would be happy, and overall I'm really excited, and I think I've done a really good job to this point on buying computer components, but I still need to continue pushing forward. So if you watched to this point, I have a question for you. I recently purchased today, along with this computer, I found an interesting listing, $175 Mac Pro A1289, that had 2 CPUs in it. Huh. How much was that? 175 bucks? You mean that's a $400 computer for 175 bucks? I'll take that, yes sir. So I drove about an hour to go get it, no big deal. So I have a question. Should I upgrade the Mac Pro with 2 X5690 CPUs, throw in like 32 gigabytes of RAM, throw in the RX 580, one of the RX 580s, and then just get rid of this computer, sell it for 400 bucks or whatever, and then just upgrade the Mac Pro? But my one concern with that is longevity. Those Mac Pros are probably going to be losing support next year or maybe the year after that, but those do not have a long lifespan left. This will have an 8th generation Intel Core i5. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Before I forget, one last thing, I will be going live tomorrow at 9 p.m. If you want to join me, that's great. If not, that's fine too. We have fun on there. My girlfriend's never the only one who comments, but it's still pretty fun. And also, I'm starting a podcast with my friends, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be filming the first one next Thursday and releasing it when we can. Again, thank you for sticking around. Hopefully you like this video. If you guys like these videos, just let me know. But this is super exciting. I'm getting closer and closer to a Hackintosh. I'm probably going to try to install Mac OS onto this. I think the motherboard is compatible on the CPU. I'm not sure if it's compatible or not. I will try it and just to fiddle around with it, but I do have to edit this video, so I'll have to download Premiere onto Windows tonight. But again, thank you all for all of the support. I know sometimes my outros are long, but I just want to, I'm sincerely grateful for the almost 200 subs. It's awesome. Thank you for sharing it with your friends. I know you guys are sharing it. I can see how many people are sharing it. So I'm genuinely just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. The cat is so cute right now. So I will see you guys in the next video. I got a fun video planned for tomorrow regarding that Mac Pro, and I'll have a great Saturday. Peace out. This has been Scott with Techno Eclipse. Bye.